Welcome, podcast listeners. My name is Nujum, and welcome to episode 4 of the Sporadic Gaming Podcast. Today, we have a completely new set of guests because all of my normal hosts just weren't here, and we have a new member, sort of. So, first, I guess I should introduce NPC Killer. Hello.
Hello, everybody. NPC Killer here. And I'm on youtube.com/NPC Killer. And I do mainly Minecraft videos.
Alright. Also with me today is... Oh, how do you want me to refer you? Because I'm talking to I guess I'm just going to say Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Gabby. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And she shares a channel with Morgan here?
Yep. Hi.
But yeah, we is youtube.com/2minutepixels1, I believe, and we do Minecraft stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been moving away. By the way, my name is Nujum. I used to do Minecraft stuff. I've not done it in like a month. I've been trying to focus on getting Paper Mario finished in time for the new Pokemon game, which I'm super excited for. So, that'll be fun. Anyways, is there any topic we want to start on in particular?
I don't know. I think Morgan actually had a topic she wanted to discuss.
Well, I saw the Assassin's Creed thing, and I've always been a fan of those games.
Oh god. Console Wars.
Console Wars.
We had a podcast that was just Console Wars for like, I kid you not, an hour and like 40 minutes. And
wow.
It's probably our most viewed video.
Wow.
So
It's
yeah,
an
okay,
intense
let's
battle.
lead into this. So Assassin's Creed is going 900p on both consoles, even though PlayStation games, the PS4 in general, runs 1080p fine. Xbox One games in general, they claim to run 1080p fine, but again and again with the games that have been released, a lot of these games have been downgraded to 900p because it makes the game feel better, or it makes the game more cinematic, or something like that. Personally, I hope you guys know what Assassin's Creed is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
So, standard games on PlayStation is 1080p. On a PC, the standard is 1440p. So, you know, PC gaming for life. Now, the big deal is that Xbox is clearly trying to hide that they are having trouble doing 1080p, which, to some people, it's not a big deal, right? To some people, 900p, 1080p, it doesn't really matter. But enough people care that Ubisoft was like, we can't stand you people. You're so picky. 1080p isn't even that different. There's no need to be so considerate about your game, so picky. So, that's the thing.
Yeah. Xbox has always had problems going 1080p. They've been stuck at 720 for, the first one. So I don't see them actually coming out and doing a 1080p anytime soon.
Well, thinking about it from a marketing standpoint, like, do you think the pixels really make a difference in sales?
Actually, it does, because if a game's 720, some people just will not buy it. And I know they hit pretty close to the mark with 900 pixels, but again, it's not 1080, and it's going to, it's going to look funny on the 1080 screens and stuff, so people will notice. But I'm PC gamer, so 1080 for me, thank you.
What game do you guys normally play on? I mean, what pixelation... Do you even notice the pixelation on your games? To all three of you?
I do. And, like, if it's, like, bad pixels, I'm not I don't really enjoy it as much. I'm more, like, into, like the better kind of graphics. Don't know if that has anything to do with this, but that's how I feel about that. And I don't know if there's other people that, like, feel different from that.
I'm going to have to go full graphics out as well. I mean, the better it looks, the more in-depth in the game you can actually get, and the more enjoyable the game can eventually be.
I mean, but that's all, like, no, I think the main reason for it was because Assassin's Creed is a lot of noise, and it seems like a lot of the background stuff, like the NPCs, having all of that run in, like, an open world environment just wasn't working on the Xbox. And personally, I'm not too bothered by it. Assassin's Creed has always been an interesting game, at least, I've not really liked the last couple, but in general, they've always been a lot of fun, and like the gameplay is why we go to these games, right? Why should graphics really dictate whether or not we buy it? If it's not the graphics we come for, of course. If it's Call of Duty and it's like, oh my god, modern realism, or like FIFA where realism is such a big deal, that kind of makes sense to me. But in Assassin's Creed, you're an assassin. You're not really trying to be, like, realistic, you know?
It makes a difference when people try to record it as well. Because, I mean, the game is at 900p, which, again, is close to 1080. But they cap it out at, like, 30 frames per second. So if you can only get 30 frames, you got the nicer view, but you're still at low frame rate. So the game could potentially end up lagging or, you know, whatnot. So, I mean...
Right. Well, let's move on, I guess. There's not really a whole lot to say, it seems. Is anyone else interested in console stuff, or do we want to try something else?
I can go after the, let's see, what was that? The, NVIDIA.
Actually, this isn't on the list, but you guys know Scrolls, right? The other game Mojang made?
Yeah.
I've never actually heard of it.
Scrolls, it's kind of like if you ever played a card game.
Yeah.
It's like it's an online card game, basically. I don't play it. I watched some footage of it, and back when it was launched, first off, a ton of people streamed it, and it looked so much fun. But it was $20 at beta launch, and I was like, nope, not buying that. But recently, Mojang announced that they were going to put Scrolls, which is it's like a card game, but the cards are just replaced with scrolls. You have like monsters and monoliths to protect and stuff. It's actually pretty good. So they've cut the price from $20 to $5. They said they're going to release the game at the end of November sometime, and they were... What was the big deal? Oh yeah, they're putting it on iPad, which is really cool for a card game, just on an iPad, I think.
If it hits the iPad, most likely it hit the Android too, but of course they would go ahead and lower the price after I bought it for $20. I mean, that just makes awesome sense.
You get like a refund or something. Not a refund, but it's like you get like a card pack if you bought it.
Yeah, it's either probably going to be a card back or a bunch of in-game currency or whatever. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about it. I don't play it very often anyway, you know. So, but I mean, the game, yeah.
I mean, as a card game, like, the only good... there's no longevity in a card game except that you play it. Like, if you don't play it...
Yeah, but again, my friends, I don't have anybody to play with, and I haven't played it enough to actually get good enough to, like, actually, you know, win. So I just kind of diddle-daddle around on it and whatnot.
But it's Mojang's other game, and all of a sudden they're making all of these changes. Like, why do you think that is?
Probably because Microsoft bought them out for $2.6 billion.
Morgan, your thoughts?
Well, like, every company likes to make, like, more money and come out with new stuff, so people still think it's, like, relevant. So I think that might have something to do with it.
But, I mean, Mojang traditionally does not care about money, right? Like, we see time and time again, they throw money away at some very charitable causes, like, you know, stuff like Child's Play charity. You know, they had a big hand in donating to that consistently. They've said many times that they're producing, like, they have more than enough money off Minecraft to do anything, you know?
Yeah.
But then again, you know, what was it, like last month, Notch left Mojang, and there was like this big controversy because Microsoft bought Mojang, the company.
Well, they bought Mojang so they can go and boost their sales and get people to use their phones, is what it is, and their devices.
Well, it's not...
So that... That's exactly why they bought it.
Microsoft bought Mojang, but so far they've not really done anything with it, right?
No, they're just using the profits for right now.
But Minecraft is such a big deal right now. I don't know what Microsoft was planning with Mojang, but at the very least, I think this thing with scrolls is like something Microsoft had a hand in, because Microsoft is generally just a better business company, and Mojang is known for not making good business decisions, right? They're not good with their money at all. Like,
they have so much of it, they just don't care.
Probably.
Oh no, there's no problem about it. They make a couple $1 million probably each month. They don't give a crap.
Yeah. Well, Minecraft is pretty much the biggest game at this point, in the world. I don't know if we're going to see it fall anytime soon.
Probably not. It just depends on what Microsoft does with it. Like, the biggest fear for Minecraft is that Microsoft will DRM it, or make it pay to play, basically. And that's one of the biggest fears.
You have to pay to play Minecraft. You realize that?
Yeah, you had to pay once.
To be honest, I don't think Minecraft is going to be very popular for very long. Like, it's been going for 5 years. I don't see it going on forever.
Well, it has the backing of the modding community, so the modding community is going to keep that thing alive as long as it can, because they are making a boatload of money just off making mods and off ad revenue, and YouTube is the same way.
It can only stay so long,
yeah, it will eventually fall off.
So long, like Call of Duty had its reign for 10 years, but
yeah, and it wasn't good at the first one.
Very few people really care about Call of Duty as the main gamer icon now. Nowadays we focus on so many different things. It's right now the big thing is Sunset Overdrive. Last week it was Outlast, stuff like that. It changes.
Yeah, I mean,
right now I guess Minecraft would be the biggest thing in gaming, but I guarantee you 2-3 years it's not going to be. And it kind of makes me think about YouTube a lot, because Morgan, Gabby, you guys are Minecraft YouTubers, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What would happen if Minecraft isn't big anymore, right? That's your main audience.
I know, and I was just thinking about that, because you are right. In about 2 or even maybe next year, Minecraft could die out, and other games are getting creative, created each year, and they get a big audience on it. But with Minecraft 2, they have mods, and how he was saying that with the mods that Minecraft is just getting popular because of that. And with the other games, they're gonna get popular just like Minecraft if they're gonna add on more stuff that you can do on.
Well, wait, Call of Duty didn't have anything you could do, but they got super popular for 10 years. They were the gaming overlords, basically. Everyone wanted to be Call of Duty. Now, you go on Steam, everyone wants to be Minecraft.
Which is true. A lot of people from where I am, all last year, for some reason, the new Call of Duty, I think it was, came out last year or something.
Ghosts?
Or, beginning of this year, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were all hyped up before that.
Yeah, we
every
talked
time
about
I
it.
would go by that. Yeah.
It was really interesting because apparently they undersold by about half of what their goal was.
Yeah.
Critics beat the game down because it wasn't very just interesting in general. A lot of people who were really hardcore into Call of Duty, they were this doesn't live up to my standards of professional shooting people.
I know, and I've heard that too. Ghost didn't wasn't good enough for what people were thinking. So with Minecraft, going back to Minecraft, there's going to probably be a time that people are just going to say it's not up to my standards. There's more games that are better out there. Oh, yes. But I'm just not I'm not saying that Minecraft will never die out. It will die out, just like a lot of other games.
The thing about that I'm really wondering right now, YouTube, right? So many people are like you guys in that they're Minecraft-based YouTubers. Yogscast, one of the biggest channels in the world, right? They're Minecraft. They're all Minecraft. Granted, they do Trucking Tuesday or something. They'll do Surgeon Simulator. They try to jump on these hype trains. So, like, their audience isn't just there for Minecraft, but not, like, I want to say 80% of their content is Minecraft. Like, when you're a big YouTuber, even if you lose you're going to just lose your audience if you tie it all down to one game.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily, because you can ride that train out until it dies and then easily jump to another game that's similar to it, like, Don't Starve or the 7 Days to Die and stuff like that. And I mean, like, the big one now is The Forest. And it's games that's coming out, and it's basically Minecraft just ramped up. So, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to switch from Minecraft to a different game like The Forest or, whatnot, Blackland or whatever.
But The Forest is never going to be as popular as Minecraft. It's like, yeah, it has a really nice crafting system.
Well, I'm not saying you have to go to The Forest, but you just find the next one that's real popular. I mean, there's tons of games out there. It's not going to be that hard to switch from one survival game to the next survival game, or even from a survival game back to a first-person shooter. I know it's kind of hard to go from Minecraft to Call of Duty or Battlefield, but it just depends on where your audience wants to go. It's not really, when you do YouTube, it's not really for you. You do it for the audience. So whatever way they want to go is the way you go. That way you get the benefit of them watching your videos, you get the views, and then you can interact with them. And then that's the part of the YouTube that I liked, going through and interacting with my viewers. I could care less about the money about it, but I know some other people do. So what they would have to do is they would need to find a game that would be similar to it that their audience wants them to play.
There's definitely a lot of games that are similar to Minecraft.
There's a whole lot of games that's similar to Minecraft. Most of them are just Minecraft rips-offs, and yet they're still fun.
So, Gabby, looking at the spectrum from Call of Duty to Minecraft, do you think everyone's just going to jump onto another version of Minecraft?
That's hard because it depends, like with the other games, if there's another version of Minecraft and like a lot of more people go and play with that, I don't think they're all gonna go to that one certain game. They're probably gonna scatter around and look at new different games, but not there will be a lot of people that probably will go over and look at the new version of kind of Minecraft, but not as much people as that's hard to explain for me.
Not as many people will be interested in the new Minecraft, when Minecraft dies out. That would be the only reason it would die out. It would be people wouldn't be interested in it. They probably want something new. They want to play strategy or RTS or something.
Yeah, when Minecraft dies out, their love of Minecraft dies out too. So
really?
They're not gonna.
Well, I wouldn't say that because nostalgia.
Some people. There's some people that could.
It's all about nostalgia, dude. That's how people have been cashing in for years.
Yeah.
That's the only way Ubisoft stays alive.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ubisoft, oh no, we did that shit.
Smooth transition.
Yeah.
It was really good in my head.
I don't know about you guys. Oh, I use Steam.
It's such a big thing right now.
I personally don't use Steam, but I love the games that they have on there.
I just like the Humble Bundle.
Steam is vicious on my wallet, is what it is.
True.
Dude, Humble Bundle, I paid $10. I got 8 games that would have cost me over $100. Yeah, why not? Screw it.
Yeah, well, my Steam profile is worth over $3,000, so it ate a hole in my wallet.
$3,000.
Yeah.
The hell have you been buying?
Everything.
You can't buy everything on Steam. There's too much junk on it.
If it
I'm
looked
pretty sure
interesting
anyone
to
who
me,
makes a game, a Flash game, will put their game on Steam.
If it looked interesting to me, I bought it. So.
Well, the big deal with Steam right now, the reason it's in the news is that people have been collecting data on it, right? And recently what Steam did, they made an update that made it easier to find games, because before, when you use Steam, basically the only way you would find the game is either you type in the exact name of the game, or you look at top releases or new releases. So if I wanted to play, say, Chivalry or Arma 2 or DayZ, I would have to type in DayZ, and it would have to be, if it wasn't the right even letter capitalization, it wouldn't show me DayZ, right? So that was a really big problem with Steam. So they attempted to fix that with what they call the Steam Discovery Update. And what this update does, is that it gives users the ability to make lists that they can recommend to either their friends list or to the public. So what this means is that if you're, say you're the Yogscast and you're like, hey, we think these games are amazing, we're going to make a list of about like 50 games that we think are really good, and we're going to say, and we're going to put it on Steam. And so that list is visible to anyone who's there. So it's a new way to find games, basically. It's interesting right now. From the metrics, it's been really helpful for people who've been like, where do I find Castle Crashers? Or I don't know what I want to play, but I want to play something like a strategy game. So you go on Steam and there's someone who calls themselves strategy, or like there's this Steam list that I follow that's called building games, where it's like things like Prison Architect, where you have something and you need to build like a building or a structure or a company, and you build them up. And if I'm ever feeling like I want to play a building game, but I don't like any of the ones I have right now, I go on Steam, I look at the list, and there's a list of games that they recommend that they feel is worth my time to play. And so there's tons of these lists. Like, there's a list called Anime Bullshit, Dating Sims, and more. Expect the unexpected. Okay. It's straightforward, and if you've played any sort of dating sim, you probably would like to follow that list, right? And then you get like big YouTubers like NerdCube, Total Biscuit, they've made lists as well. So it's a pretty big update, is what I'm saying. And
I like the overlook of it, the whole thing, because I mean it's not just that. It's it goes through and bases stuff off of what you bought in the past, or what you're looking at and to buy in your wish list and stuff, and then it suggests stuff to you. That's what it's doing. Then right on the main page, it says, that it help you find your next favorite game, and it goes through these games, and it's actually stuff that you've been playing, or you've been, like I've got a construction simulator. I literally, but 3 weeks ago, bought Farming Simulator. So it now knows I play simulator games and I play strategy games. Since there's Alien Isolation.
Don't play it, it sucks.
I'm sure it does, but but Castle Story and stuff like that. It's going through the stuff that I've bought in the past, which for my list, it's kind of hard to do because I've got so many games, but it's doing a relatively good job about it. These are games that I would play. It went through and seen that I have 2 Borderlands, so it's suggesting every day now, hey, you should buy the $60 pre-sequel to Borderlands. I was like, yeah, no, it's $60, but it's really nice. But when you go through, it's got a thing in here. It says you can begin exploring your queue, and every day it gives you 11 or 12 items that you go through, and you can be like, add to your wish list, follow it, or not interested. So if it's not interested, it'll stop asking stuff. It'll stop sending you crap about that. But if you can add it to your wish list, you can buy it later and follow it. Brings up little notifications every time they do anything to their activity feed. It pops up like where your friends bar usually is. It pops up there and says, hey, Football Manager 2015 added a something to their activity feed about this. Click here to check it out. And it's going through and it's giving you the whole layout is nice because it goes through, gives you the information, then underneath it gives you a user review. When you hover over it, it says 87% of the 96 users reviewed this game are positive. So the outtake of it is a very positive. So it's giving you that.
So as a user, you're pretty happy with it, right?
As a user, I'm phenomenal about it. I mean, it's very good. I've been in the beta for them. I always do the beta for Steam because they have never disappointed me.
Well, ready for the bad news. Apparently, it's killing really small games. Like, say you're like me, you live in a college dorm, right? So if I wanted to make a video game, I would be making it in a college dorm. I don't have any sort of marketing or anything that'll make my game really big, right? I don't have like a big YouTuber I can just call up and like, hey, can you cover my game, please? So what's happening is because of these updates, those small games are kind of getting squished out by all of these really big titles. And so it's making it really hard to be a new developer on Steam, which is worrying because, again, Steam is such a dominant force on the market right now, right?
Well, not to sound mean or nothing, but it's really not Steam's responsibility to market your game for you. They are literally just a place to host it. They are a place to put it in a central spot for everybody and make it available. They do a little bit of marketing and help you out, but it's not their job to market. You got to get on the internet and do your research and get the word out on your own. If you're going to do a game, you need to be doing that anyway. You can't just rely off Steam. So apparently these games that are doing really small are not doing their marketing right. They need to either go to a college class and take it and figure it out, or just read it up online or something, because they can't just rely on Steam.
I don't know. Steam used to be a really good... If you got your game on Steam, it used to be, like, the big deal, right? Like, you were on Steam. You were, like, on the biggest platform on the internet, right? Nowadays, it seems like if you're on Steam, it doesn't matter. Even though it's, like, still really hard to put your game up on Steam, right? Like,
it costs... Well, you have to pay $100 to put your game on Steam, which gets donated to whatever charity, and then your game has to be voted in. So you have to market it anyway, and it's got to build the hype anyway. So if they're that low, they didn't do it right.
This is from before, with the statistics that are being collected on the Discovery update. Before, big developers weren't doing super well on Steam. Now they're almost like 40% up in revenue. Like, their games are doing significantly better because so many people are recommending the really, really big titles. And there are all sorts of these smaller games that before would have at least gotten some sort of audience. With the Discovery update and with the way YouTubers have been, it's like, well, you're gone. Unless you have some sort of paid promotion, it's really hard to get noticed. And it's even harder than ever now. Like, it's a bit crazy. And I was thinking about this, right? You mentioned that marketing is something that a company has to do on its own. Say you're a big publisher, right? Why wouldn't you just take advantage of this, like, sudden boost in your sales and, like, call a big YouTuber and ask them, hey, can you put my game on your Steam list? Like, can I sponsor you? Like, we hear all the time paid promotions, right? They made a new Hobbit game, right? The Hobbit Smog game, Shadow of Mordor. So that game came out, and there was a PR thing, and, Total Biscuit was involved in all these big YouTubers, and, Total Biscuit didn't put it on his list, but the marketing for Shadow of Mordor could have said something like, you must put our game on this list, no matter how bad or if you do not like it, right? That would be like paid promotion, and the viewer would never be none the wiser, right? People will go to Total Biscuit because he's big deal on Steam right now. That's just how it is. And that's kind of scary, because already YouTubers are in such a vulnerable position to big companies, right? It's very easy for a big company to be like, hey, YouTuber, do our thing for us, right? That it's kind of scary that all of a sudden we give these big companies even more power over the market. Just my thoughts.
They got the power, but I mean,
Morgan, what do you think?
Well, like, with what you were talking about, like how big companies are like going to go to like big YouTubers and be like, hey, here's like our product, you should sponsor this or whatever. Like, I don't know how to say this. Like, I'm thinking how to like word this. Like, if like YouTubers, I think it's kind of cool because like YouTubers have like the power to like influence what other people will do and like what games they will check out, even if it is like being like paid to by a company or something. It's still really cool that YouTubers could have that influence.
That's true. But then it's like, what if they just start selling out, right? Just straight up, like, they take a promotion deal from Blizzard and they only start giving out Blizzard games and Blizzard stuff. It's like, you would never know just looking at Steam. And that's a huge power in the market right now.
YouTube is the biggest free advertisement there is.
Mm-hmm.
if someone on YouTube decides to sell out, I mean, that's, again, it goes back to what your people that are watching you think. So.
But okay, say you're like Yahtzee, right? Someone who's a game critic. Yahtzee has to take these sorts of deals all the time. Like, he has to take deals like, you cannot show bugs of our game until it is launched. You cannot talk about things above level 20 until the game is launched, right? And then he also gets things like, you have to do at least one video on the game if you take this deal. You have to do at least one live stream on this game if you take the deal, and you will be paid this amount of money. So what I'm really worried about is just more than just people selling out, really shady companies that have always been there, like Ubisoft, taking advantage of this and just trying to grab as much attention as possible to games that we already know, games everyone has learned about, but just YouTubers will take money from Ubisoft. They'll be like, oh, of course we'll say good things about your game, Of course we'll do live streams. We'll love it. No, you won't see any bugs. Don't worry. There's like this thing called call to action, right? In marketing, where when you're doing advertising, there has to be at least one, go buy this game in the description down below. A lot of these deals will say, you must tell them to buy this game, right? You have to actively prompt them to go down and buy it. And that seems really shady to me. Like, it just seems unethical. And I don't
something
like
that they have to decide whether they think is ethical or not. If they decide that if they don't want to do it, they can easily say, no, I refuse this offer. Aurelian just did it the other day. She was like, you know what? I appreciate your offer, but go screw yourself, because this does not fit my YouTube channel. This is not what my people want to watch. And I'm not doing your little, buy this game or whatever right now. So they have the thing. So it is completely morally correct, I guess, to say for them to do that. And it would be stupid for them not to. It is a big marketing advantage. I mean, all they're losing is a few copies of the games, where they're already making thousands of dollars off of it anyway. So in the loss of a couple $100, they're going to make a couple thousand. They don't care. It is when it comes to marketing and gaming, it is a dog-eat-dog world. They will do anything they can to get the cheapest and most effective marketing out. And YouTube is one of it. And they know it.
Okay, don't mind me. Someone is messaging me, and I am trying to tell them stuff.
So in our thing on here, though, we do have these NVIDIA cards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're going from what it looks like in this article, it says the new 900 series is going to the mobiles, which is for the laptops. So the laptops are getting 75% of the performance that the desktop chips are getting. So they're getting stronger, and it's going to use less battery. So you're going to get the performance of the desktop, and you're going to get the battery life you need for the laptop. So I am looking highly forward to this. This is one thing that ATI has had struggles with for years. They keep putting more power and more power and more power and more heat into their cores. And NVIDIA is actually taking a step back. And they're saying, how can we do this, make it more powerful, but use less electricity, therefore creating less heat? And I think they're doing a really good job at it with the 900 series. They're not too much more powerful than the 700 series anyway, but the fact that they use a whole lot less electricity, and they do support the DirectX 12, which the DirectX 12 is going to be completely amazing. The DirectX 12 is like they did a test, I heard, and they ran a game at DirectX 12 and DirectX 11 and compared the stats. One of them, the DirectX 11, used 1 gig of memory, whereas the DirectX 12 used megabytes and not gigabytes, and not like triple megabytes. It was a double-digit megabytes. I just can't remember which one. This is like 25 megabytes or some crap like that off the same thing with just between the two, the DirectX 11 and the DirectX 12. Right. This meaning that the DirectX 12 is going to be the next best thing for gamers because they can push their PCs a whole lot harder and get better views and better performance out of it through it. So,
okay, so before I comment on that, welcome. Oh God, what do I call you? Because I know you by one name, but you changed your Skype name, and I thought you were 12, and now I'm embarrassed. But why did you change your Skype name, by the way? It really threw me off. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Honestly, since you brought it up, I don't know what to introduce myself as either.
Brilliant. Well, let's start with something basic. You're not a YouTuber, right? Or did that change since I last talked to you?
No, but I'm gonna try to start.
Ooh.
I just need to get recording software.
I could recommend you on like 17 of them.
I can recommend you on 20 that don't work.
Actually,
and I can recommend you the one I'm using, which doesn't work.
Actually, I want to be a PokeTuber.
Oh no.
I don't know what that is, but I don't think I want to know.
It's actually pretty entertaining.
It's just a YouTuber that does a lot of stuff about Pokemon.
Oh.
Well, you have a Minecraft for your picture. You realize that?
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, that also is the face of my trainer in X and Y.
Alright, so maybe I should introduce you with like your channel name then? Like,
I don't have a channel name yet either.
Oh God, what can we call you? Can we just use your name?
I guess, depending on which one is on the screen.
Well, we have Kai something.
Korofo.
That sounds like an anime reference.
Actually, no, it's not.
No? You seem like the anime guy.
Korofo is, in fact, a name that I came up with. So, meh.
It's straight made up?
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of funny. Alright. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Oh God. I'm just gonna call you, like, Kai, I guess?
Kai sounds good.
I really, really want to call you by your real name, and I keep almost saying it. You have no idea. Oh, it's messing with me. Okay. I just did it again. Kai, welcome to the podcast. Currently, we are talking about NVIDIA chips. We just talked about a couple. Actually, let me send you this document really quick.
You know, whenever you told me what the topic was, I thought like my dyslexia made me read NVIDIA chips. Like
that sounds awesome, actually.
Like there's chips inside of a video.
Yeah.
I'm hungry now.
It's the new Oculus Rift, dude. That's their
God.
plan.
So
NVIDIA chips. It's revolutionary.
I heard a bit of what he was talking about. Isn't that the whole like thing that Unity needs to run on?
I don't think so, but it does.
So really quick, the story is that NVIDIA is making. NVIDIA is the computer chip company. They make laptops. They make desktop computers. They are making a new type of laptop that has the power of a desktop, basically.
75% of the power.
75% of the power of a desktop, which
With
pretty
less
freaking
battery.
cool. But as a note, it is a really high tier item. Like, it's pretty expensive.
They're always expensive. I mean, it is just released. It'll go down as soon as the 10,000 chips come out.
Sounds interesting.
But these chips being priced the way they are actually made ATI panic and lower the price of their chips because they're actually priced way lower than what it was thought to be.
But yeah,
let me close out of my emulator right quick. I was nuzlocking. Shush.
Were you?
Yes.
I'm training, dude. I'm training for Pokemon Sapphire, Alpha Sapphire. Like, literally,
bro.
I'm trying to get through my Paper Mario series right now so I can start on Sapphire when it comes out. Like, super excited. That's going to be a lot.
When is that thing gonna end, anyways?
What?
Your Paper Mario.
Okay, it's only been 3 months? That's not nearly as long as my other series.
It's felt longer to me for some reason.
Alright, well, yeah, chips. There we go.
Cool.
Do you have the podcast sheet?
I do. I have not been checking anything.
I'll give you a second to read it, and what do you think we should talk about? Morgan is talking about the UK news. Morgan wanted to talk about the UK news, and I think we'll move on to that next. NPC Killer, would you like to sign off?
I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I can do, if we jump straight to this abuse thing, I can do that one and then I can go.
Well, the thing is, I'm not sure that this will be a quick one.
Okay, well, I'll have to just discuss it later on then. Yeah, I'll have to go. So, again, thanks for having me, guys. Right. And I'll be adding I've already somehow got one guy in here, but I'll be adding the two ladies here and to Skype, and hopefully we'll be able to chat again some other time. Till next time, guys, take it easy.
Bye.
Link will be in the description below, by the way, on my video.
Yeah, as well as mine. If you guys can all just send me your channels.
Sure.
Okay.
When I come up with a name for mine, I will send you mine.
When you get one, let me know and I'll help you.
Will do. Thank you.
I will try to send you some of my subs.
Awesome. Thank you.
Friendship.
All right. I'll tell you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. So, moving on. Actually, wait, no. Let's not rush this. Kai. So difficult. This is Gabby and Morgan. They run a channel called Too Many Pixels that does Minecraft content. And the guy who just left is called NPC Killer. He doesn't do one type of content. He's like me. He tries to do multiple games. So
I do all my games. Thank you.
Oh, he's still here. Cool. Hello.
Hello.
Me. Okay, so shall we introduce the next topic?
Oh God, phone! Why?
Mine was doing that earlier, an unnecessary amount.
Tell you what, does someone else want to introduce this one?
I've lost where we are.
Here.
Hold on. No, I'm just looking at the thing that you sent me.
Yeah. We are on the UK one. Gabby, Morgan, which one of you want to take the bullet and try and introduce this topic?
I'll do it.
I was going to say Morgan could probably do it.
Alright, I got this. Alright. Whoa. Hold on. I can't. I'll be right back, I guess. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Well, I can try then.
Alright.
I actually told her that I was gonna talk about this, mention it. But, this one caught my eye, which was, I never really thought of people, going this far. But, in the UK, if you, try to, abuse or harass people, online, you can be faced up to 2 years. And which I think is crazy, but on the other hand, I can totally see why people would be taking it as hard as they are. Yeah, because a lot of people do get harassed and abused, and it's called just being rude to other people without knowing who they are and what they're going through. So for me, I've never really experienced this, but I've heard and read so many things about people getting bullied over the internet, and I find that horrifying, and that's so sad, because people don't really think about what they're going to say to the next person they see on the internet, and you don't know how they can be affected by that. like
it's pretty difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, like my one of my closer friends, she got like bullied over the internet, and it took a really serious toll on her. Like it like did so much damage to her that she couldn't go on the internet for about like 4 months. It just like she was so afraid that she was going to get bullied again from people, and like no one has the right to do that to someone else, to make them feel so down and to pretty much say you're worthless or something like that. And I kind of agree that they should get like punished for like doing that, but I'm not too sure for 2 years in prison.
Well, the thing I'm thinking of, right? In normal bullying cases, usually it's a case of a teacher intervening and talking to the child, and it's like therapy and all this stuff when it comes to like IRL bullies, like middle school playgrounds, right?
Yeah.
But online, there is no teacher. There is no one who can really regulate that. And that's an interesting thing to think about. Like, is it the government's job then to talk about this? Is it the people's just society who has to control this? Like, I remember there was an article about, I want to say 2 years ago, there was an article about how League of Legends was so toxic. Anyone who didn't have like a really strong will would never be able to play the game. And people were saying it's up to the game developers to make their community stronger. It's up to game developers to punish these people, right? And then there were developers who were like, that's scary for us, because most of these developers don't have a lot of money or free time to be dealing with their social communities, right? Mojang does. Minecraft does a lot with its community. But Minecraft is friggin' like rich as hell. They can do whatever they want.
But also, Mojang didn't they sell to
Microsoft? Yes.
Microsoft, yeah.
Yes. Notch left the company and Microsoft took over.
So we may see a change.
We are already seeing changes. That we already talked about this. Scrolls got a price downgrade from $20 to $5, and it's going to be coming to the iPad. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hi. Sorry.
So we were talking about basically online bullying. I'm looking at the comments, and a lot of people are saying like that's kind of stupid. Like kids will be kids; they'll just mess around as much as they want. You can't force them to stop. And like new laws like this, how are you going to catch it? Basically, that's two big problems I see. Yeah. Like, a lot of times kids will just be fooling around, and you'll hurt someone's feeling without intentionally doing it, but you don't realize how serious an effect that feeling can have, so I'm kind of mixed on this.
Yeah. Like, I just think it's a horrible thing to do, but I just don't think that it's going to be easy to catch these people if they do, like, bully them, and it's not going to be, like, the punishment can be, like, some people think it's, like, awesome that they could do this, but some people think it's overrated. Like I think 2 years in prison is overrated, but they do what they did and they deserve something, but not as harsh as that.
2 years in jail. Anthony, tell me about this real quick. The UK has been really quick to adopt stances like this when it comes to video games. US has pretty frequently not acknowledged gamer society in general. The US in general, the government is pretty quick to say, yeah, they're just games, they don't really matter, right?
Yeah.
People talk about online harassment all the time, and that's more than just video games, but when it's like something like, oh, I went on chat roulette, even like stuff like that that's outside of the game, UK and like Germany, they already have stances and laws against this. They have laws about what you can do on chat roulette in Germany, like straight up. In China, you can't even go on chat roulette. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Like, China regulates what websites its users are allowed to do, which is a completely different topic, but kind of unfair. But it's interesting, right?
To each culture their own. I mean, like, it's just... You can't really compare the United States to the UK because we have different cultural backgrounds. Though our roots are from the UK, we also have roots from everywhere else in the world. So,
well, the thing is, online is universal. It doesn't really matter what culture you're from. Online abuse is a thing you have to worry about if you're going to be a big country. UK noticed it. They're acting on it. They've been acting on it for years. US, they don't even care that the online community exists.
I think that with America and all that, the government doesn't really look into that as much as like I think the government looks more into oh, I heard myself echo. That was creepy.
what the heck was that?
I don't know, but I think the government looks more into like people getting bullied over like Facebook or like Twitter and all of those kind of things. But if you're like in an online video game, I don't really look to that. Like they just think it's like, oh well, what happens. It's just a game. Nothing's gonna happen. But if it's like Facebook, Twitter, and like Tumblr, YouTube, they look more into that because they think probably maybe more people uses that. So that's how I thinking with the government in the US, other than like people in the UK who probably do think about people all over the internet, even like with games and like the social media.
Yeah, but again, okay, so there's still an argument that I have, and that's where do you draw the line? Like, what do you call bullying, right? Because, for example, you said Twitter, right? Twitter is such a big deal now. Like, if you're like a YouTuber, you have to be on Twitter, right? If you're like any sort of product, you have to be on Twitter. You have to be on YouTube. You have to be social media because that's what's defining our generation right now. And what's scaring me, Twitter is a terrible place to have a conversation, right?
Yeah, because everyone can see it. If it's like...
No, beyond everyone can see it, you only have 140 characters, right? So what that does, it really restricts what you can say, and so you kind of have to go for what am I trying to say? You have to cut out all the extra bits, which could be interesting.
Yeah.
But when it's your day-to-day tool to talk to someone, it's really easy to like make a joke and have it come off sounding like you are a terrible person. I don't like you.
You are the a-hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up. You can't say lol JK because that's 143 characters. You just say K.
Yeah.
There was an article I remember reading about, I don't know, it was pretty recent, but it was a discussion about what social media is good social media. And people were talking about how Facebook, if it's used how it was intended for just your friends and family, is actually an amazing way to connect to your friends and family. Like, I'm in college, right? I live in a dorm. I want to connect to my family. Facebook is there, right? My mom is always on Facebook, so I just go on. I'm like, hi, Mom.
Gross, connecting with family.
Hi, Mom.
Who wants to do that?
My sister.
My whole family's on Facebook too, and none of my family's on Twitter.
Facebook is actually pretty good if it's used for family. And it's not actually that bad for product placement. It's pretty good. Twitter is abysmal. Flickr is abysmal for conversing with your friends. With the limitations they try and put, Instagram even, they have such high bully rates on Twitter and Facebook. Not on Twitter and Facebook, on Twitter and Instagram. It's a little bit crazy. Instagram, I don't really understand what's going on there, but I know there's so many problems with Twitter with the 140 character message and the way people are using Twitter as like their one source to the internet, the one way to connect to other people. And it's harming them, actually.
Well,
like, you go.
Continue.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Here.
Well, with you saying like 140 characters, like, yeah, you're going to have to think out what you're going to say. So you're probably going to think more on what you want to hurt them with. Other than like Facebook, you can have you can write a novel or something, and it doesn't it don't limitate you like from where you can stop. So words don't want to work.
The one other really big thing, by the way, the reason that people seem to, by people I mean like people who are researching this topic, the main thing that they're really saying is that Twitter doesn't really have a mute button. You can block messages, but you can't block tweets type of deal.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Actually, there is a mute function on there where you can block people from seeing certain people's tweets.
Yeah, but other people are going to be able to see that too. So, like, if they say something
social
mean,
media,
they're going to...
I mean, while that may be true, I just don't deal with Twitter. I don't deal with any of that. I'm not on any social media. Though I have a Facebook account, I'm on it like once or twice a month.
Yeah, Facebook is just dying out like that too.
No,
I wouldn't say Facebook's dying out.
Not a lot of more people don't use it as much as like Twitter and Instagram and all that other stuff.
I see where Twitter could come in handy for certain people, like for Markiplier, for instance. He sends out a tweet, "Hey, live stream starts at this time."
Yeah.
Or, "Hey, this video is up today. Send." Or for like Nate Wants to Battle, he's like, "Hey, I'm starting
a lot of shout-outs going on.
I'm gonna do a Wi-Fi battle." What?
Sponsor.
Okay, no, look, I'm just going off of examples of YouTubers.
Yeah,
I
know. I was doing the same earlier.
Like he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a Wi-Fi battle. Someone challenge me," or something like that.
Yeah, totally. That's kind of how I see social media being used, but then it's not really social media, is it? It's just you're on the internet, right?
I mean, I don't see Twitter as a means of social media. I see it as a means of, "Hey, look at me, do this."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a, "Hey guys, how are you doing today? You having fun? You having a good day? Cool, sweet, let's hang out." I like that.
I just read Ibni's comment in their Skype chat. Ibni, the other person who usually is on the podcast, he's like, "Good luck with the online abuse topic. Don't think I've seen that split in a comment section in a long time." And it's so true. Like, some people are like, "Feminism are ruining our games," and then there's like people who are like, "There is a line about where you draw bullying, and there's people should be punished," and there's those people who are like, "No, why would you? That's not your responsibility. Why are you in this?" No, it's recorded.
Oh.
I wanted to stream live, but my Skype was cutting in and out, and I didn't want it to cut the stream.
Hooray! I look like a stupid.
What's wrong?
I said, "Hooray! Now I look like a stupid."
Don't worry, it's your first time on. To the credit of everyone here, all three of you guys, I literally just messaged, and you guys showed up, and I'm really happy about that, because literally what happened when we usually do record it 6 o'clock, right? The podcast, and nobody showed up, and I was like, guys, I can't do this on my own.
You thought I was a 12-year-old kid.
No.
Everyone on the internet is, basically, so.
Actually, Ibni there, he's 12. He's smarter than me. It's like, Ibni there is totally an exception to the 12-year-old rule. Like, he is so freaking smart.
8 years.
So freaking smart. Anyways. Oh god, I feel like
you were off by 8 years, by the way.
What?
You were off by 8 years.
Okay, I know how old you are, because you're like.
Because clearly I'm a 4-year-old.
Yep.
With this silky of a voice. I can't.
Okay then.
Right.
I can't wait to watch this.
Well, you're gonna have to go through about half an hour of not you, and then it's like, oh, you're there.
I don't care.
You just randomly appear.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the whole feminism thing at all? Because I think that could be something worth discussing, because honestly, it's such a big topic right now.
Okay.
Feminism and video games and women's roles and all that.
What form of feminism? Because...
Personally, I don't want to talk about any of it. But...
Because what words come out of my mouth may get me in trouble.
Right.
I'm not sexist.
Let's talk about women's equality then. Like, in fact, let's not even talk about video games, because personally, I don't really think women are too sexualized in games. Like, personally, I think they're more sexualized in just media in general. Like, let's take Beyonce, right? Like,
Ugh.
Do you enjoy Beyonce videos?
No,
not really.
I love watching
does.
Beyonce.
Let me put it this way.
The high production quality, you know?
Let me put it this way. I do not enjoy any of our generation's music.
You don't enjoy some of the great camera work going on?
Our generation's music is trash.
Like,
prepare for all of the hate comments on me.
I listen to today's generation music and I like it, but I think the same. It's horrible. It's like
some of it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's like, why are we talking about this?
One Direction needs to burn.
Hey, I kind of like One Direction, so
I am like 100% against One Direction, but like most of my friends aren't. So
Morgan,
we got two non-directioners.
Yeah. Right? Nujum, shush. Morgan, can we internet high five?
Alright, ready?
Is that a thing? Do you have to like enable face cam?
That was great.
Awesome.
Anyways.
Team None Direction.
Oh god.
Go.
I actually like 2 songs from One Direction. I don't listen to their music at all.
I will no longer be associated with you.
Exactly.
This will be the one and only podcast that I will ever be on.
The thing I wanted to say about Beyonce, right? Wasn't her production value. I wasn't talking about like how she wears skimpy outfits. What I wanted to talk about was Beyonce. She calls herself a feminist, right? Despite wearing all these skimpy outfits and making a show of herself, she classifies feminism as being able to be a woman and have the same popularity and status as a male in like the same industry, right? And when you look at the stats, she is the only musician who is super, super big, like head and toes above. Like, you hear Miley Cyrus all the time, right? She's not actually that popular in terms of like music that's downloaded, music that's paid for, record labels, stuff you see on the radio, interviews. She's not actually as popular as most people think. Like, in general, Beyonce is like the big, and actually Nicki Minaj, despite I kind of don't want to say it, she's actually one of the few women in a traditionally male genre of music, rap, right? She classifies her music as rap, and it's labeled as rap, and it sells as rap, and it sells in a dominant male rap culture, right?
It's nothing but bubble rap. I couldn't think of anything there.
Rap. Rap stands for rhythm and poetry, by the way.
No, I know. I don't like that genre of music.
Well, whether or not you like it, whether or not you like Nicki Minaj, would you say she's a feminist idol? Because she is in a dominantly male genre of music that's always, for one thing, putting down women, for one thing. And for another thing, she's doing it really well. She does normal rap stuff. She does normal rap videos. Like, she has an audience, right, that listens to her music.
Can I beg to differ and get all of the hate comments?
On your own video? When you have a channel?
Because I don't like any of her music. I don't know.
Just because you don't like it, does that make her any less of a feminist icon?
Maybe.
I don't really like personally see her as like a feminist, because like feminists kind of like say like, actually, like, let me change that. If like a guy that like does rap music, he'll like wear like typical like a guy clothes, I guess, but like girls have, like Nicki Minaj would have to wear like really tight exposing outfits to do the same thing. And if it was equal like that, then she wouldn't have to do that, but she still does.
If it was equal, the guys would have to wear bikinis.
I would probably watch that.
I would not.
Okay.
But it's all different. Like, no matter what, people are just going to watch them because of what they look like and, like, what they're doing.
Mostly, it's all based on opinion. And one thing that I've learned is on the internet, you cannot have an opinion.
You cannot.
I've learned on the internet you can only have really, really strong opinions.
And people will fight them.
Yeah, people will fight you for your opinion.
So therefore, I have been sharing my opinions very frequently on this so far. Right. Honestly, I just don't care.
Well, let's just go super controversial then. Let's talk about the IRL news. There's a video, right? It's interesting. At the very bottom of the list, it's called IRL news. It's a video about a bunch of little girls. They're dressed in princess costumes and tiaras. And the first thing they say is, there are things more messed up than the word fuck.
Really?
These girls look super young. Like, I recommend you start watching the video. Don't turn on the audio because that might, like, leak in.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
But it's interesting. I would watch it in my free time because it's certainly a very strange video. But the basic idea.
Really young.
Actually, I'm watching the video right now, and the first word that they say is pretty.
Oh, do they?
Oh my god.
Yeah, the first word they say is pretty, so
sorry, I'm not watching the video
have been wrong on the internet. Congratulations. It is forever now.
God damn it. I'm looking at the video, and I'm just looking at their actions, and they're, like, so exaggerated. But yeah, words more offensive than fuck. Pay inequality.
Oh.
Women get paid 75% of what men get paid. Something we all know about. Another thing they talk about, rape. 1 out of every 5 women are raped, apparently. Did not know that. I learned something today.
Why would she do that?
What?
She just cut money.
Oh no.
Dare she? That could have fed a family in Africa. You a-hole.
Well, try and keep in mind the message here. So, we all know, kinda. Do we all know? I don't know. Society tends to be really bad at knowing things sometimes.
Okay. This girl just said, I didn't know I need a penis to get paid.
Do they know what a penis is?
What? Wait, what? Wait, what? I'm not even listening.
This little girl.
I just saw it.
It's this little girl in a light pink dress, and she says, I shouldn't need a penis to get paid.
Oh god, that's brilliant. That is the best marketing plan ever. They should be selling stuff with these people.
Oh lord. Especially with that little girl in the pose that she's in.
I know.
T-shirts. Coffee mugs.
Oh god.
Bandanas, so that old Western people can tie them up and
okay, but it is a serious topic, right? Like, no one's gonna deny it.
There's nothing is more serious than a little girl in a pink dress.
Nothing
oh my god!
But she's talking about rape. That's a little.
Nothing worse than there's nothing more serious than a little girl in a pink dress saying about the word rape. Penis.
But if you watch till the end too, like the little girl actually flips you off, and they have like a swear jar,
God, really?
and they're like just dropping money into it, and it's like, okay.
Is that a dude at the end?
Yeah, that's a dude in a dress.
Oh.
So that was interesting to see too.
$15 shirts. Girls just want to have fun. The mental rights. Oh, I see. That's clever.
Oh.
Well, they are selling.
Yep.
I knew it. They're marketing geniuses. Okay. First off, was that video even ethical? Because it's like little girls saying fuck and talking about rape. Like, what the hell?
Why would their parents let them do that? Like,
I don't know.
Whose parents would, like,
I don't even know if girls understand what these organs are. Like, I don't think they understand the concept of... To be honest, I can totally see girls their age yelling fuck anyways on the playground, right?
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
I cannot see them understanding a lot of what they're saying. Other than, like, pay inequality, very direct. Being pretty is pretty direct, right?
Yeah.
And I guess, let's not lose sight of what the video was meant to do. It's meant to say girls are not being treated fair. And it's something we've been saying for years. And it's kind of hard to say, well, we can fix this by buying a t-shirt, right? Although that's clearly what the video is doing, is kind of selling out. But, I don't really know how we would be able to solve it. Like, even, like, on an individual level, never be able to solve something this big, right?
Yeah.
It's a very clear problem that we have. And
it's always been a problem, though, too. Like, yeah, we've passed laws to say girls should do this because it will, like, be more equal than just not having that law. And, like for example, like, having girls, like, the law to vote would be, like, equal for men to vote, too. But really, it's like, it wasn't really equal, even if you passed a law. Why didn't you put it in general both sexes could vote? But they had to take so long just to realize, oh, wait, girls should be able to.
I'm pretty sure that was intentional. It wasn't like they realized it, but...
Well, yeah, they didn't realize it, but they just...
It took a while for the sort of feminist movements to get the ability to even vote, right? That says a lot about a very male-dominant society. Which makes me really glad that the one podcast we talk about this, we have two girls.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things we hear all the time as gamers, right, is that, like, sort of like, oh, girls don't play games, right? Like, honestly, it's... Feminism is kind of a house problem to me, right? In my opinion and in my experience, most of, like, when people say girls shouldn't play video games, it's parents talking to their children. It's like, hey, Sarah, some life advice for you. Sit down and talk to me for a minute, will you? Okay.
Video games will rot your brain.
First off, video games are gonna rot your brain. Dump Tommy, he's a moron. You can't go outside after 6 p.m. By the way, your uncle's coming over and you're going to give up your room. And, have fun. Bye.
And maybe something else. What?
Oh, my God.
Oh, Lord, I'm terrible.
But, yeah. I feel like in the home, people reinforce this sort of male-dominant society, right? In general, like, we're pretty good about telling girls, like, go and get a job, go and be whatever you want to be. Schools are pretty good at that, right? You may not know how you're going to be an engineer or an astronaut or whatever you want to do, but you want to do it, right? It never crossed your mind not to do that. But talking to your parents, it's such a different mentality, and that's a very hard thing to change. That's not something a policy can change. That's not something a law can change, right? The way we think about women at home needs to change, and that's something we just cannot do on our own, one by one. I'm not really sure how you would be able to do it. Even if it looked like a mass movement, you'd have to, like, raise the signs and change how Hollywood worked entirely. Just make some big blockbuster movie like The Fault in Our Stars, right? That was pretty good. Great movie.
That was really good. Yep.
Was super inaccurate at the parts where they were talking about, like, some of the... I'm not gonna... Don't mind me. Anyways.
I didn't like it.
I liked it, but it was so inaccurate, it was annoying. And I realized how weird the sex was, like, straight up. It was really creepy. And the whole author thing, oh my god, that was weird. I never thought about it as weird in the book, but it was super weird in the movie.
I thought it was weird in the book.
To never exist.
Anyways. Oh god, what was my train of thought?
Hooray! I destroyed it.
Okay.
Next topic. What?
For women in general, to like sort of get a real equal in society, they kind of have to, I guess, wrestle their way into the top charts. Personally, I think this is now the best time for a woman to really get equality with YouTube and games, right? One thing about games, right? They let you pick your character sometimes. They let you pick what gender you want to be. They try to be inclusive with women sometimes, maybe, occasionally. You know, a lot of the smaller titles have really good female protagonists. Some of the really big titles, like Fire Emblem, you know, really good female protagonists.
Yeah.
And then there's games like Dead or Alive.
We don't talk about that here.
No, what we shouldn't talk about is Sonic 06.
There's a new Sonic?
Sonic 06.
I don't know what one you're referring to. So...
Can someone slap him for me?
You can't reach me, I'm on the internet. Mwahaha, your bullying means nothing here.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. Sonic 06 had a girl in it who, by popular demand, is accused of being a necrophilic furry.
Oh, in the game?
Yes.
The heck?
At the end of the game, Sonic dies. She kisses him, and he comes back to life.
Oh.
I'm not gonna look this up. That sounds like something worth discussing, don't get me wrong.
Her name is Elise. She is a necrophilic furry.
Wait. Is this that PlayStation Sonic game that was like... They had like this elf girl, and it was like... I forget what the details were, actually. I just know it was like a PlayStation game.
It was PlayStation and Xbox.
What was it? I think I know what you're talking about. It was weird. Hey, Sonic from Sonic Heroes, like Sonic Adventure Battle 2, those were good games. Screw the new Sonics.
Sonic Generations was okay.
I didn't play Sonic Generations.
I haven't.
I heard it was really good. But Sonic Lost Worlds was junk. The space thing was junk, though it had awesome music. Like...
Rolling around at the speed of sound. That place is
There's so many covers of that. Oh my god, no.
So...
I was looking for video game music the other day, right? To put on my outro that I'm making. So I was looking at video game music. There are so many covers of that song. Like, it's incredible. Okay. And some of them were literally made, like, yesterday. Like,
I think the best thing to come of Sonic 06 is its soundtrack.
Okay. I've never listened. I don't know what Sonic 06 is. I don't think...
Have you ever... Okay, look, listen. Did you ever watch the game Grumps?
Yes.
Do you remember that Sonic game that John and Aaron played?
No, because I don't really watch all of their videos. I watch like one or two of them.
They had like over 100 episodes in it.
Oh dear.
And I swear to God, it looks like if someone took a child and said, "Here, sit at this desk and program." They couldn't program gravity correctly. You can literally... There's a part in the level where you can just run up one of the loops and stop.
I love stuff like that. Little bugs.
Standing upside down.
Dude, bugs in games are so great. Like, especially some of the super realistic ones, like GTA. So many bugs. It's so good.
The worst part about it is I think Sonic 06 was actually delayed a little bit.
For quality purposes?
Yeah, to like fix some bugs that they had in the game. But other than that, it was terrible.
I just realized your name isn't on here. On my screen. That the people are seeing.
Okay.
What?
like on the screen, I have like hosts, Nujum Key, Gabby, Morgan, and NPC Killer. But you are not NPC Killer. You are Kai, I guess. Until further notice. I don't want to write that. But yeah.
You don't want to write what?
On the screen, there's like your name.
Oh.
You know, and stuff. You were apparently NPC Killer for a good while. Sorry about that.
Oh.
Oh well.
I'm NPC Killer. I punch babies.
Oh.
I mean puppies. Whoops.
Oh my god, I just realized we've been doing this for an hour and 20 minutes.
Haha.
This is longer than we normally go.
How long have I been in the call?
I kind of want to keep going, to be honest. But we might want to wrap things up. Is there any last thing you guys want to talk about before we wrap up?
Not for me.
Nope.
Actually, does anyone know about any good game releases? Like, Legend of Korra, that was apparently a really good sequel to Avatar, and they made a game on it. And it sucks, apparently. It's got like a 5-star rating.
Wow.
Bayonetta 2, that's something we could have talked about when we were talking about but we're not going to talk about it now.
Oh, there are other ways of getting the Pokemon demo, Aurus demo in America than just the one that came in the...
Okay. I swear to God, do not talk to me about the demo. I am trying to not watch any of the media news. I'm just waiting for the release date. I am just...
Okay, look. They will not release the demo to the public.
It won't?
No, you have to get a download code for the demo.
In the U.S.?
Yes, everywhere.
Oh,
Why
everywhere.
Why would you need a download code?
Because they're trying to keep it controlled, contained. All of that.
How do you get it? Do you need to, be media?
The way that people got it in, Japan is go to this store, go to this store, go to this store, you can get the code. For people in America, it was completely asinine and backwards and all of this. For people in America, we had to get, there were these postcards that they send in the mail every now and then.
Come on, Nintendo. I thought we were past the point. I thought we could do world releases now.
Hold on. Listen.
What?
They will have a world release, but for the demo, they're being weird about it. For the demo, what you need to do is there are several ways of going about getting it. It will be released at movie theaters, certain movie theaters that are unnamed yet, whenever the Diancie movie comes out.
Wow.
Why movie
there
theaters?
Is,
I guess,
they
Pokemon movie?
They haven't been named yet. At there's what is it? Certain retailers, I'm guessing like GameStop, but this is all while supplies last. So that means they could eventually run out.
Digital. You can't say while supplies last when it's digital.
But they're talking about the codes.
Right.
There's also a more easy
code.
way.
You can't.
Okay, there's an easier way. Within the next couple of weeks, there will be 3 games released. Show your face. There will be 3 games released.
Right.
One of them has already been out. It's the Pokemon Art Academy.
Oh, yeah.
If you buy the digital copy of that, in your digital receipt, you'll get a code for the game. Whenever they're on the virtual console, they'll be releasing 2 games. They're releasing Pokemon the Trading Card Game back for the Game Boy Color.
Right.
So if you buy that, it will come with a code. And then if you buy some Pokemon puzzle thing, let me see what it is. If you buy that game, it will come with the code and the receipt.
Right.
So basically, you just have to keep
this
buying.
whole deal is really weird.
Yeah, it's.
They
By
are
the way, that Pokemon Art Academy
so
is
hard. My
that
God.
Pokemon Art Academy is $29.99 retail price. On November 6th, they'll be releasing Pokemon Puzzle Challenge on the Virtual Console and the 3DS at $4.99, and the Pokemon Trading Card game for the original Game Boy Color on Virtual Console on November 13th, and that costs $5.99.
Wow.
And you will receive a code. You'll receive a code in your receipt. You put that into your download codes on the Virtual Console. I do not know how to
feel about this, honestly. It's like, I'm glad they made a demo, but now I kind of feel, it kind of seems like
the way of
you had the resources to make a demo, and you used it to sort of sell your other games. That's... I don't like it. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Which version of Pokemon are you guys going to get?
Sapphire. Believe it or not, Pokemon Sapphire was the game that broke me into, like, hardcore gaming. Like, that was a game I spent probably over 100, 200 hours on. No joke. I had, like, a Mega Man game before then that I never really played. And I had, like, there was one other game that I don't really remember. After Pokemon Sapphire, I played that thing non-stop for
You can get Diancie in the GameStops now.
What?
Oh, my lord. You can go to GameStops and get Diancie now.
Oh, cool. That's nice.
Hooray.
I never really cared about the store exclusives because I just go on Syrupy and ask if anyone has it and they'll trade.
Pretty sure no one's going to trade a Diancie.
You'd be surprised.
Besides, you can't trade a Diancie. Most event legendaries you can't trade. And I cannot wait until they fix that stupid Space Wasters problem in the GTS.
It's a bit weird.
For those who don't know what a Space Waster is, it's basically someone who, like let's say, puts up a Torchic and says, "Oh, I want Arceus for this Torchic." But what's even worse is they'll say, "I want a level 10 or under Arceus for this Torchic." Well,
you know what they're doing when they do that, right? They're trying to dupe their Pokemon. It's a pretty common thing to do. If you have, like, really good Pokemon, it takes, like, you send it to the GTS, and while it's sending, you close your game, you start it up, and you see if the Pokemon's still in your box, and because the Torchic is all online, the data that's saved online stays online, so you pull the Pokemon back, and hey, 2 Torchics, right? But it's really, really hard to do. So people will do this, like, 100 times until they get their Pokemon.
I just call them Space Wasters. And all the people who... I'm trying to complete my Pokedex right now. And for all the people who put in a Chimecho for Groudon, Kyogre, just Dialga, Palkia, all of you people, I hate you. Just all of my hate onto you.
It's really hard to get some of the Hoenn Pokemon.
Not really. I mean, I just don't want to sit... I just don't...
Dude, I have like 600 Pokemon. I cannot get any of the Hoenn ones. Like, it's freaking
I have
hard.
almost all of Hoenn.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Want to
easy.
trade?
Maybe later.
I don't know if I have a Chimecho. Let me check.
I have a Chimecho.
Give me a second.
I just didn't want to waste my time getting happiness on a Chingling just to evolve it into Chimecho.
Yeah, it's the way of the market, man. You gotta work the trades. You gotta trade, like, a level 70 Zangoose for, like, I don't know, shiny, like, Pikachu or something. Then trade shiny Pikachu for, like, Dialga and maybe, like, hey, legendary, I'll trade you. I'll trade you Dialga for a Chimecho.
Okay, all I'm saying is, all I did was, I was like, you know what, I give up. I'm gonna put up this, what did I put up? a chestnut. I put up a chestnut.
Right.
And it was one that I had like I had made like 4 chestnuts,
right,
all with different movesets. And I was like, you know what? Take the lesser chestnut. Give me a Chimecho. Thank you. 10 minutes later, I was like, let's check. Chimecho. I was like, finally.
It must not have taken very long then.
No.
By the way, I think the girls are bored of like our nerd talk.
I'm actually a really big fan of Pokemon, but Gabby isn't.
Yeah, I'm so confused. No. So I'm just...
Why?
I've been like following along.
Join the fandom.
I know Pokemon. I know Pokemon, but I'm not the craziest fan of Pokemon.
I'm not either. I'm just saying that I know a lot about it.
I used to not be a fan of Pokemon, and then I watched Pokemon Origins, and I was like, oh my god! And then I played Pokemon White, and I was like, oh my god! This is great.
Okay, so did anyone else catch the fact that the guy who was the voice for Brock is also the voice for Ichigo and Bleach?
I did not know.
Yeah, cool. And it's interesting because the original Brock is also the voice of Kaiba in Yu-Gi-Oh!
So wait, is it the same dude or are they 2 different dudes?
The original Brock was also Kaiba, but the new Brock for Origins is also Ichigo in Bleach.
Okay. That makes sense, actually, yeah. I can totally see that. More the Ichigo one, because I've seen that one recently.
But the original Brock is also Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh god, I need to go, like, watch those old shows, dude. They were so good.
The first generation of Pokemon is on Netflix.
Yeah, I know.
It is?
Yeah.
I need to go watch this.
I was just going to say, Morgan's going to be watching it now.
So my friend...
I'm just going to play Pokemon Showdown, so...
I had this one friend who swore up and down that Goldeen is supposed to sound like Goldeen. And I was like, no, watch episode, 2 or 3, I think. I think it's episode 2. Right. If not, it's episode 1. No, it's episode 2. Yeah, because that's whenever Ash has to go to the Pokemon Center. And then Team Rocket is like, ooh. But,
okay.
Misty throws out a Goldeen, and it's like, Goldeen, 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 Goldeen.
Okay.
And it's like, ha, I distracted you with my fish out of water. Because it's a fish out of water.
Naturally.
YOLO swag.
That was a pretty good story.
Exactly.
Anyways. I need to play Pokemon again. Like, I used to have, all the legendaries and, all this competitive stuff. Now I'm just too busy playing League of Legends. Actually, we didn't talk about this, did we? The League of Legends Championships?
Ugh, I don't like League. I tried it.
Noob.
I didn't like it.
Scrub. 1v1 me, IRL. Mike, you hate? You come for debate?
Do you have...
You didn't get hate?
Question.
You bad?
Question. Do you have a ring?
A what?
A ring.
A ring?
Yeah.
Why would I have a ring?
Because if not, this is going to be an unfair fight.
A ring?
Yes.
I don't think I heard you correctly.
Yes, a ring, on your hand.
No.
Because I have a class ring and another ring that I
remember that because you showed it to me and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I realized it was $500.
Actually, mine was $80.
Too much money.
80? 80?
I pay 0 cents for my rings.
Because you don't have a ring.
Exactly. Don't
Point
you
proven.
feel dumb? With your useless toys, your little rings, shiny gems. What have they ever done for you? You're just bound by a materialistic society.
I've punched a guy and left an imprint on his face.
Stuff. That's true. true, actually.
So if you want to 1v1 me in an IRL fight...
Right. I thought you were saying rank at first, but no. Look, League of Legends, the World Championships ended. My team won. Yay, Samson White. But I wanted to highlight something here.
I thought
it was aired on ESPN, which, if you don't know what ESPN is, I didn't know what it was. It was a sports network. It, shows...
How do you not know what ESPN is?
Why would I know what ESPN is?
Yeah.
Because it's just like football and stuff.
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be. Football, basketball, baseball, sometimes volleyball.
Well, the point is it has a lot of viewers, and people were like, oh, we're just going to put League of Legends on our sports network. And it was like... I can just imagine some kid being like, Dad, can you turn on ESPN? Finally, my son's going to watch football with me, right? He's finally getting off his damn games all the time. It's like, he turns it on, it's League of Legends.
I'm just waiting for the day that competitive Pokemon battling is put on ESPN.
Yes. Competitive Pokemon battling will never be popular. The thing about Pokemon, right? It's such a long game. And there's so much behind the scenes that you have to know. Or it's just going to... You're never going to get it.
I beat Y in 2 days.
What? Really?
It took me a week to beat my Pokemon X game.
Yeah, it took me at least a week.
It took me 2 days.
Yeah. Did you stay up day and night?
No, that was just off and on playing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I was playing Pokemon X while I was doing other stuff. I would be playing Hearthstone, which is a great game, by the way. And then I'd be playing Pokemon X while the loading was going on. Pretty quick. Shows how much time I actually have on my hands despite being in college.
Have you guys ever run a Nuzlocke?
What? Dude, I'm going to be starting a I started a randomizer Nuzlocke, and it's really fun.
Which game?
Emerald.
I did a standard Nuzlocke, and I'm eager to... I'm basically getting the Pokemon from the Nuzlocke that I had onto my Pokemon Y.
Right.
And I'm training that team right now, and I'm really eager to see how well it does.
I had my randomizer Nuzlocke. I started with a Wingull. And I was like, this isn't the best start, but the other Pokemon were literally there was an Abra. And I was like, I want to try it. And I tried it. Abra does not do anything.
No, all it does is teleport until I think level 16.
Yeah, and on the first battle, right, where you're meeting Professor Birch, and you have to save him from a Zigzagoon, you're not allowed to leave the battle. So Teleport just it tried to use the move, but it didn't work. You're a failure. So literally I just had the stupid Abra, and I was like, well, restart.
Gabby.
Funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what they're talking about?
Nope.
Nuzlocke, if you watch Pokemon on YouTube, you'll see it a lot, because it's a way to mix up the game. The idea
basically
is
what it is...
Let's not talk over each other. The idea is that...
Okay, but you've been cutting me off almost this entire podcast.
Well, you said the same thing 3 times. Gotta move on sometime. Anyways.
But I mean,
the point of a Nuzlocke is to take the game and mix it up a bit. And how they do that is that they make it, when your Pokemon faints, right? It's considered dead. You can never use that Pokemon again. Which makes it really interesting, because you really, really don't want to encounter, explosion Pokemon, right? You don't want to teach them explosion.
Types.
You don't want to try and be ballsy. You want to keep tons of potions on you.
And you want to stay away from Wobbuffet.
Yeah. So, that's one thing. The other really big thing in a Nuzlocke is that you can only catch one Pokemon every route you go to. And I think the traditional rule is the first Pokemon you encounter.
That's the standard rule.
Yeah. That's what most people do. It's not traditional.
It's standard. But the Nuzlocke rules do not enact until you obtain Pokeballs. So, in Red...
if you lose the first fight of the game somehow...
Fire Red and Leaf Green, or Emerald. In Emerald, you have to cross 2 routes until you're able to get Pokeballs. Yeah. So, you can kind of scout the routes to see what you can find. And then once you get your Pokeballs, you can go ahead and go in there and hope for what you liked. Or
I got a level 4 Rapidash. I was so happy on my randomizer.
But I didn't run a randomizer on Fire Red. I did a standard Nuzlocke, just regular game.
Right.
I was so sad because I had a Gyarados. I got the one that you can pay $500 for.
Ooh.
The $500 for the Magikarp.
Oh, right.
And I got a Gyarados from it. And it died. And I was like, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then it was my only water type at the time, so I was like, what am I going to use for Surf? until I can get the Lapras.
Yeah.
So Basilisk was dead, and I ran into a Snorlax. And this Snorlax gave me so much trouble. And at the time, I had a Voltorb, who we appropriately named Brotlov, which is Voltorb spelled backwards. But the thing behind Brotlov is...
think of that.
Brotlov is our Tsar. Like Tsar Brotlov. He is awesome. He is our leader.
Oh, I see Tsar as in like Russian dudes.
Yes. Tsar Brotlov.
This is going weird places.
So...
I just wanted to talk about League of Legends. No, wait, no. What did I want to talk about? What was the origin of this topic?
Nuzlocks.
No, it was like, I'm pretty sure. What was the last thing we talked about? We talked about the UK thing, and it was like, oh, feminism, that ad, and then it was like, he had to leave.
Little child saying penis.
I thought we were supposed to wrap up. I was like, let's wrap up. Does anyone have something to say? And
it was like Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we were talking about the Pokemon store, and I was like, oh, that's... Yeah.
Basically, I've kept us going for another 20 minutes. You're welcome.
I was going to keep us going with League of Legends, dude. I just wanted to talk about the biggest gathering ever, which, by the way, was hosted in the same stadium as last year's World Cup's finals.
If you want, just cut out.
Kind of a big deal in gaming right now. If you don't play League of Legends, it might not be that important to you. But to us competitive gamers, last year we weren't allowed on certain stadiums because they were like, that's stupid. Why would you play video games for people? It's something you play by yourself. It was like a public thing that Sports Network did. And like, there was no media on it. Gaming people were pissed off last year. And so this year they played nice and we got the stadium we wanted and we were like, this is a big deal for us, right? Being able to play in a traditionally sports stadium, like, with such a massive audience. If you see the video, I put in the document, there was like someone vlogging it, and the stadium is massive, right? And there's so many employees, there's goods being sold. The line was literally like, apparently some people stood in line for over an hour to get in, which makes me worry a bit. But I'm sure it happens in real sports as well. People probably wait an hour to go for a real sports event. So it's kind of cool.
That's
dedication. Someone who follows it so much. Sorry.
That's like real dedication if you want to wait in line for like an hour.
Well, if you flew over to Korea.
Well, just the commitment in general of having to go through all that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say, man, but you had to go and ruin it. Anyways.
Awesome.
Not you.
It's my job.
Okay, well, thank you all. Why am I so tired? Thank everyone for watching.
From guessing over 2 hours or somewhere around 2 hours.
Probably. I don't mind. I've done long podcasts before. But then I've been like at school all day. Like, friggin' college classes suck. And we have finals coming up next week.
Ugh, I have work tomorrow.
Screw your work, dude. My work is literally just studying on the counter. Like,
my work is putting groceries across a beeping thing.
Wait, don't you do that like Sundays?
Huh?
was that only a Sunday thing, or is it like...
What?
Never mind.
What?
Never mind. I don't care enough. Thank you all for watching. If you want to see any of these people's the channels, as well as the NPC killer who left, all of their links will be in the description below.
Don't got one.
And his will be a work in progress. Don't worry. And yeah, I guess that's it. We will. I think I did that backwards. Yeah, normally I do it differently, but that's fine. Thank you all for watching. We will see you all in the next podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.